Hello, I'm the Bad Game Hunter and welcome to my first expedition. Boy, did I track down something good for you today. Our quarry today is the Youthdrainers, a side-scrolling survival horror game developed by Evil Eyes Productions. You play as a supposedly pregnant woman trapped in a house full of evil midgets. The game refers to them as midgets, so I'll stick to that even though it does feel a little derogatory. Escape is not an option, so you must find a way to kill yourself before the midgets get you. Wow, that sure is an edgy game idea. Wish I thought of that. In case you didn't figure it out based on the Steam reviews, or anything else about this game, it's far from a masterpiece. It's not a diamond in the rough, or a good bad game, or any other sort of excuse. It's a mess brought on by a bad idea, barely fleshed out, poor programming, and general laziness. The first thing we notice is the menu has no mouse controls. Fine, that's not a big deal, especially since you don't use the mouse in-game. Selecting instructions, we get a brief overview of what you're supposed to do. However, this doesn't extend to the controls used to actually do it. Seems like the devs prefer the player to learn through trial and error. Did you notice that rumbling ambient sound? Yeah, that's there the entire time. There's no way to turn it off either. As you can see, the options menu is brimming with ways to customize your game, so sound control probably just slipped the devs' minds. So you can get a feel for what it's like to play this game. Let's just listen to the audio for a little bit. To hell with the player's hearing, right? Well, maybe the developers recorded all their audio on a windy cliffside, so we can't really blame them for that. A glaring issue is the complete lack of a pause menu. This means there's no way to exit the game once you've started playing outside of alt-tabbing and closing it from the taskbar. Seriously? No way to save progress either. Oh, my bad. Hitting F2, of all things, brings the game back to before the intro logos. That's super convenient. Did I mention that they're unskippable? Here, you can watch them with me. The entirety of the gameplay consists of you walking through rooms and searching through preset and unchanging locations for various items. That's it. Fun. Between each attempt, the location of the items doesn't change, creating an incredibly linear game. Every time you die, you repeat the same thing, over and over and over. Maybe the creators could have randomized where the items are found. While searching, which is mind-numbingly slow, there's a chance a QuickTime event will pop up, as you can see here. Wow, that's super involving. Too bad that it doesn't tell you how to stop the moving marker. But because I'm not brain dead, I figured out it's a spacebar. Does it seem like the marker is moving awfully fast? Because it totally is. This is the slowed down version too. In the most recent update, the skill bar was slowed down too. How the hell did the developer think any faster than this was reasonable? These QuickTime events serve no purpose other than to create this artificial difficulty. It's barely skill related and most often you're gonna fail. The lights going out is easily the biggest pain in the ass of the game, and that's saying something. No matter how far into the game you are, you have to go all the way back to the room you started in to turn the lights back on. However, this is never explained in the game, and I only accidentally discovered it. I spent way too long fumbling in the dark trying to continue with the game before I figured that out. The instructions claim that the midgets make some sort of noise as they approach, but I sure can't hear anything. The only way to avoid them is to stare at the corners of the screen and hope that you can spot them through the shitty camera grain. And that's it. That's all there is to say about the gameplay. I gotta say, I'm real impressed with how well this was put together. It's too bad about the bugs though, but we can't blame the developers for that. It's not their job to make sure everything works. Before it starts, there's an introduction crawl that gives background on the game. It's supposed to be a recording left by the previous victim, and it sure does conveniently give you all the information that you might need on the evil midgets. It's meant to build suspense, but any suspense that you might have felt is immediately killed off once you start playing the game. The plot for this game is just baffling. It feels like it was ripped right out of the late 70s. I'd ask if you remember the horror movies with dwarves as the antagonists, but I don't, and I don't expect you to either. I thought we as a society had been able to move past viewing dwarves as weird or scary novelties, but not Evil Eyes Productions apparently. The building you're in looks like a crack house, but the intro crawl says it's a house designed to make you feel safe. Actually, I'd say it's worse than the one crack house I've been in. At least the people in the crack house usually don't try to kill you. As for the goal of finding a way to kill yourself, I assume at the end you find a gun to blow your stupid brains out. Not that I got there because of the game-breaking bugs. I'm not saying I'm an expert on killing yourself, but there are so many different ways to do yourself in. There's a fuse box in the room you start off in. A weird, bad plot would be excusable if the gameplay was good, but this game just fails on every level. Also, I was promised evil midgets in cloaks, and instead I got Jawas and Jason Voorhees after he went back to medical school. I'm not surprised the art in this game is so bad, but it just sinks to a new low. I'm not sure if the artist tried to make it stylized, but if they did, they really messed up. It all just seems like something of an afterthought. You'd think that because this is a side-scrolling game, that your character's profile view would be drawn well. Nope. Instead, we're stuck with the character looking like Leafy. Shit. Wait, is that meme dead yet? What does it say about a game when the most heavily animated thing is the character's bouncing boobs? A lot, I think. Maybe that's what most of the developers' time and effort went into. Fitting that it still looks terrible. The flashlight that you carry the entire game, that acts as your only means of protection, teleports from hand to hand when you turn. The light from the flashlight doesn't even come from the end of the flashlight. Apparently, it's a flashlight-shaped glow stick. Huh. I just got an idea for a new flashlight product. Fuck. Why the hell is there so much beer all over the place? Last I checked, pregnant women can't have alcohol, so who is it for? The Jawas? Is that why they're evil? They're alcoholics? What's the deal with this scene when you're killed? Is that what the Jawas do with the babies? Make a giant flesh mass? That's definitely really scientific and a great use of baby flesh. This is truly a mess of a game. Everything it attempts to do, it fails. The gameplay is incredibly monotonous and broken. The story is weird and uninteresting, and the visuals could have been better done by a lobotomized elephant. All in all, I'm just glad I didn't spend too much time on this game.